Right, Toledo, they've already won the West and have clinched a trip to Detroit to play for a MAC championship in a couple of weeks. But on the left side, on the East, still 4 teams at large there with Bowling Green, just 1 game back of Ohio. So what needs to happen for Bowling Green to get to Detroit in a couple of weeks? Well, they got to win. They got to win this game. That would set up a game in Athens, Ohio next week against the Ohio Bobcats that potentially could be a win and go to Detroit game. It still depends on what Kent State and Buffalo do along the way. So a big mess to figure out in the East. It all starts with Bowling Green trying to get a win here tonight. With Rocky Boyman, Connor Onion. Now, it was disappointing for Bowling Green last week. They got blown out against Kent State, but they've shown an ability to bounce back all season long.
And they got a ton to play for tonight, right? But it's just a matter of which Bowling Green team shows up. The one that rattled off 3 straight conference wins and looked really good, or the team that threw up a clunker last week to Kent State. But again, talking to the coaches this week, they seem real fired up and real engaged tonight to come get this one.
A big part of the reason that they're maybe a little bit ahead of their scheduled rebuild is their quarterback, Matt McDonald.
Yeah, Matt McDonald, he came over here with their head coach, Scott Leffler, 3 years ago, and I think by now he knows the ins and outs of this system. He's playing the best he has played, the best football of his career. It's a very complex system, lots of motion, shift. They play about 15 tight ends, right? Give a lot of formations. But I think Matt McDonald knows the ins and outs of it, and he does a really good job delivering the football, and they got some guys that can make some things happen with it.
15 tight ends. That's a long travel list, Rock. Let's see if he gets them to all 15 tonight. Well, at quarterback for Toledo, DeQuan Finn came back from injury last week, helped them clinch the MAC West, but he's in a boot tonight and in street clothes, will not play because of that ankle, and it's Tucker Gleason, who started 2 weeks ago, back of center tonight.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, DeQuan Finn, one of the most electrifying players in the MAC, but it's going to be Tucker Gleason. He's going to start. He started a couple weeks ago against Eastern Michigan and played fantastic. 238 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's a Georgia Tech transfer, and he's a guy out. Now, he's not going to go run around as much as DeQuan Finn, but he can light it up deep.
You mentioned a big-time recruit, and his quarterback's coach was his coach in high school, so they'll be on the same page as far as play calling tonight, and he'll get a chance to touch the ball first with Bowling Green winning the toss and deferring to the second half. Well, we told you 18,000 at this game last year down the road at Bowling Green. Students have showed out strong, and so has the community as well.
I'm from Ohio. This is Ohio football weather right here, baby. Let's get it.
You were one of the players we talked about off the top. Dreamed of a night like tonight.
There you go.
First snow game for these guys. Jaquez Stewart back to receive the opening kick. And here we go in the battle for I-75 from the Glass Bowl. And Stewart inside the 5 will have a chance to return it. And Jaquez Stewart with a stiff arm to the outside. He's ushered out at the 15-yard line. So we just talked about no DeQuan Finn, little less in terms of the quarterback run tonight, but Gleason still has terrific wide receivers to get the ball to.
He does. I think just man for man, Toledo is the most talented team in the MAC. I think that's a guarantee with that one. And a lot of explosion offensively. You'll see 3 running backs. You'll see a bevy of wide receivers. They got a really good tight end who's great in the red zone as well.
How about this for a toughness play for Tucker Gleason? It's 25 degrees. He's from Florida, and he comes out at quarterback in the start with no sleeves tonight. So Gleason's opening snap is a handoff, and Bowling Green's ready for it right up the gut. They gave it to Micah Kelly, and DJ Taylor makes the stop from linebacker.
Now, as good as Toledo is offensively, I think Bowling Green has one of the best fronts in the entire conference. They got some dudes up front on that D-line, and we just saw one of the linebackers already.
Now they rotate those guys quite a bit. They rotate the linebackers quite a bit. And Gleason's first pass is incomplete. Mikel Barkley had it right in the numbers, but couldn't make the play.
I think it's going to be interesting. Shows up now. This is a rivalry game, but they technically don't have anything more to play for in terms of getting in the championship game. They're already in it. Bowling Green, on the other hand, it's lose and go home. So treats this thing early on if they can get some momentum.
Even with that, Jason Candle, the Toledo head coach, said, "We're not resting guys." Now the exception is DeQuan Finn. So on 3rd down. Gleason to the air and right back to Barkley, who makes the catch this time, but he's roped down well shy of the first. The second play on this drive for Bowling Green.
DJ Taylor showed up tonight, that's for sure. That's a great stop. And again, I think the more Bowling Green can make some things happen early and just kind of take some of the life out of Toledo, the better off they'll be as this thing goes on. They're going to get the ball back to their offense.
You'd like this as a defensive guy playing in the snow, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you like to think it's a little bit harder in the pass game. Outside of defense.
We saw Toledo have to go short and have a drop in the pass game through the elements on their first drive. Now it's Bowling Green getting a touch for the first time. Talked about that complex offense for Scott Leffler. Him and McDonald, his quarterback, are right on the same page, though, working together for a long time.
Absolutely, and that's everything, right? It's reps. I mean, how many reps have those guys gotten together? How many plays have been called? The biggest thing for Matt McDonald, and again, I think this is his best season so far, is just getting him the protection, right? I mean, he's been sacked 30 times this year, and more so lately. If that offensive line can give him some protection, he'll be all right.
And it starts with a run for Jason Patterson, their lead back, and he gets a couple on first down.
A very diverse run game. I mean, you'll see everything. You'll see counter, you'll see power, you'll see zone, you'll see jet sweep, a little bit of everything, which, again, that's tough on a defense because you never really know what to expect play in and play out.
You'll see tight ends carrying the football.
Oh, yeah, exactly. A little bit of everything. Crazy formations.
See end arounds and the fullback belly play when they get down toward the goal line. Off the fake to Patterson. First throw for McDonald, and that's complete to Hilaire, and he gets midfield. Sets up 3rd down and 5.
Hilaire is their best receiver. Go-to guy from McDonald for sure here. You can see it's about getting that ball out of his hand. You don't want to sit back there and camp, but now here we go with a 3rd and 5. This front for Toledo can really get after it. Watch out for number 1, Desjuan Johnson, maybe the best defensive lineman in the map.
The Bowling Green staff called him a monster. He's lined up right over the ball here for a team that struggled on 3rd down this season. McDonald gets it out quick again, and that's complete to Harold Fannin, his tight end. He's got a 1st down.
Really like what Matt McDonald is doing with this quick pass game. And some of these wide receivers, yeah, they got some hype to them. But look, catch that ball, knows where to go with it, and that ball's out of there. No hesitation, be decisive.
Well, you wonder, too, with snow that's kind of like rain. It's a snowy, rainy type mix. What's the grip going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can add some tackiness to the ball.
McDonald goes down. There's Johnson, who you're just talking about, is a monster coming up the chute.
Yeah, I don't think he was blocked on that one, which I think I might want to reassess that one, yes, because, again, Desjuan Johnson, if we get a look, there he is. I mean, look, that's just a quick spin move. And he had Bronson Warner just all out of sorts. I mean, Desjuan Johnson, I mean, you watch him against Ohio State, and he was making some of those offensive linemen they have look foolish. This guy is a real player.
They played the Buckeyes in September, and a flag comes out.
And these are the things that Bowling Green just can't afford. You know, just a self-inflicted mistake. This is not hasn't been a big play offense with a ton of explosive plays. They need to put drives together, and now you're way, way behind the chains.
The sack for Johnson, and now the false start on Bronson Warner, the right guard. So a run for Bowling Green on 2nd down and forever, and still behind that original line of scrimmage after Patterson gets him closer. So they're playing for not only to keep the season alive for Bowling Green, but they're playing for that. And that was more of the dialogue than the standings this week, was this trophy that's on the line.
Anytime there's a trophy at stake or a ring at stake, the guys are going to play hard. They want that hardware.
Yeah, that trophy is about a decade old. Maybe when it's not 3rd down, we can tell the deeper story of
that's right.
What that trophy used to be. Well, there's movement up front for now, they call it. Flag was a little late coming out, but you had Patterson up at that wingback spot, and he flinched.
I think if Patterson had played this off a little better, he might have called it.
There are 3 guys pointing at him. He wasn't getting away with it.
And here's where you're really at a disadvantage. Toledo's secondary is one of the best in the MAC. Excellent pass defense, 2 of the best corners as well.
And they stand up Nate Givehand and bring some pressure off the edge with Givehand. And McDonald gets away and it's broken up incomplete. Quinyon Mitchell, one of the best in the country at doing just that, has the breakup.
Quinyon Mitchell, 4 interceptions on the year, and it really is 6. He had 2 wiped away because of penalties, but you can see why. He just does what any great corner does, break on the ball. Because if he's not there to bat that thing away, C.J. Lewis might be in the end zone right now. Great job of breaking on the ball by Mitchell.
When you're talking about putting together highlights for an NFL tape, the ones you catch that get wiped off for penalties still go on the tape, right?
No, absolutely. Trust me.
So he's got 6 according to the tape. Sounded like you had been there before.
Oh, yeah.
So fair catch inside the 15 for Adam Beal. And Toledo and Bowling Green both punt on their opening drive.
With premiums as low as $0, Optima Medicare created plans with you in mind because you make the most of your life and deserve the most from your Medicare coverage. Our comprehensive coverage offers a full range of benefits and an extensive network of providers and pharmacies for a healthier, happier you with premiums as low as $0. Call 1-833-351-0475 to speak with a licensed plan advisor. Optima Medicare. We put our members first.
Really? Really? Free testing and charging?
And if you need a new one, we've got you.
Really?
Welcome to America's #1 battery destination, AutoZone, your battery solution. 'Twas a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our Splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday
Magic.
The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Eat, play, eat, play, eat, play. Combo! Dave & Buster's Eat and Play Combo is back. Get an entree and a game card starting at $19.99. Now through November 27th, only at Dave & Buster's.
Wow, I love it. You look amazing.
So for the Battle of I-75, the whole county comes out, including Kareem Hunt, the former Toledo Rocket.
Kareem the Dream, what a career he had from 2013 to 2016. 5,000 yards, 44 touchdowns, wearing that Toledo uniform. It was one of the great ones.
Well, the Browns play in Buffalo on Sunday, so he's probably just getting used to the snow.
There's supposed to be like 2 feet of snow in that game, right?
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing? Ooh, better you than me, Kareem.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm not going. You have fun with that if you're going. I'm not. So it was a 3-and-out for Toledo on their first drive with Tucker Gleason, their backup starting tonight. So it's Scott Leffler and Bowling Green preparing most of the week for Finn, but now dealing with a new quarterback.
Yeah, and I love Scott Leffler. I think he's one of the great offensive minds in the game. He's really helped build this program back. And I feel like this year is better than last year, and which is better than the previous year. Things are going the right direction.
Well, his defense coming to play tonight. So you had DJ Taylor make a couple of plays like that on the first drive, and this time Brooks from that first level.
Yeah, Carl Brooks, again, another one of the best defensive linemen back. Tied for 10th in the nation in sacks with 8. He's a guy you might want to block. Now, he's playing some end. He'll play some tackle, probably in the pros, which I think he's definitely an NFL guy. Probably a 3 technique or 4 technique at 300 pounds, but you can see he can move.
Bowling Green staff has said that that's who they come to see. That's who the NFL guys are coming to see. Pressure on Gleason again. He's going down again. Ball almost came out, but he held on to it, and it'll be 4th down. Jordan Anderson up from safety made the sack.
Tell him, don't sleep on this Bowling Green defensive front. Scott Leffler likes what he sees. Putting some pressure off the edge. Also, the linebacker up the middle was able to screw the block out of the way. It's a good start. Now they got to give the ball back to this offense, and it's got to get something rolling here. There's 2 nice opening drives by that D.
And a short punt will give McDonald and the Bowling Green offense good field position inside the Toledo 40-yard line. So Bowling Green looking for the game's first score in the opening quarter.
'Twas a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The God of War dynamic plays out in every parent-child relationship, right? LeBron?
Just like when Bronny told me he'd rather play against me than with me. Really?
I think we call that a breakthrough. Now, John, you said you wore your Kratos outfit to the farmer's market.
I had people pointing at me going, no, that's a really great dad.
That's not why they were pointing.
Does the costume really help?
I don't know. Does the costume really help when you play basketball?
Rated M for mature.
PlayStation.
I long to see the setting sun, bring peace on earth to everyone, and faith reborn each glowing morn. That's why I dream.
Really?
Really? Free testing and charging?
And if you need a new one, we've got you.
Really?
Welcome to America's #1 battery destination, AutoZone, your battery solution.
Jason Candle, the head coach for Toledo. He's been a part of a lot of these Battle for I-75 games. First as an assistant, now as the 7th-year head coach at Toledo. And he's had a little bit of success, I'd say. He's 11-2 in these games.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's done a good job. You mentioned his 7th season, which I can't believe. I still remember him being here with Matt Campbell, but he's done a great job. Obviously, won the MAC back in 2017. And we talked to him here this week. He said this team this year reminds him of that team just from a leadership and a commitment to being the best kind of standpoint.
Kind of felt like manifesting, right?
Yeah.
It reminds him of 2017 when they went to Detroit and won.
Yep.
Like you said, he was an assistant for Matt Campbell before. He said his favorite Bowling Green Toledo game was 2013. It was Terrence Owens to Alonzo Russell with a minute left to win it on 4th and goal for Toledo. So Bowling Green with their second drive, and McDonald has it knocked down.
Yeah. Good job by that Toledo front getting a hand up here. Jamal Hines knocked her down. He's another potential NFL guy. There are a lot of them on this field here tonight.
Especially in the front seven for Toledo.
Yeah, they got some dudes. I mean, a couple linebackers, Deontay Johnson, Dallas Gant will be mentioning their names a bunch tonight as well. Here we go, some formational switches.
Well, it's usually around the tight ends, too. And you got the backup Orth in the game at quarterback. And he takes off and has a good gain for a first down. Camden Orth, who they said they were going to change things up with tonight outside of McDonald, and a good first start.
And you can see why they're going to put him in the game and use him tonight. He's a big guy, 6'3", 230. And they get some formation, and hey, where do we line up? And boom, that ball is snapped to Orth, and he has a nice gain around the right side. Tough runner.
So Toledo's without their quarterback. Bowling Green has an extra quarterback. Camden Orth playing tonight. We got Orth in there again after his gain of 13 yards on second down. And with the snow falling, a little bit damp, it's going to be hard to throw it. So Orth sticks it in there, and he's got no gain. The ball comes out. And Bowling Green is back on top of it.
And one thing you notice is a lot of the motions and the shifts and things. And what that does, Connor, to a defense, it just makes you hesitant to where your gap is, right? Things are happening, moving around. And in this play, they just snap it to Orth, and that ball is out. Fortunately for Scott Loeffler and company, they jump on it.
And Bronson Warner got it back. So one good play, one near disastrous play for Orth. McDonald comes back in at quarterback. We have the 2nd and 10. Off of the play fake. McDonald going for the end zone. And that's caught. It's a touchdown to Hilaire. McDonald sits out 2 plays, then throws one right on the money from 25 yards out.
We talked about Matt McDonald, how comfortable he is in this offense. And how about this? Throwing the ball into double coverage, but he's confident with it. Look at this. I mean, that's a great job. And that's in between 2 blue jerseys. And look at this catch. That ball is hanging up in this night sky with the snow coming down. And Hilaire makes a fantastic catch to put Bowling Green on the board.
Hilaire's 5th of the year, and on a 2-quarterback drive, that's Orth on the ground. Then McDonald right back through the air to hit Hilaire.
That was a great job by Bowling Green, keeping this defense off balance, some motion, some shifts, a couple different quarterbacks. But in crunch time, Matt McDonald comes in and makes a beautiful throw. Bowling Green on top here early.
Was a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, sunset.
Bum, bum, bum.
Holidays are here, Loose fabric gear, overalls for cheers, underwear for rear, sunset lasts years and years.
Who wouldn't want gifts from Duluth Trading?
Duluth Trade Rate, make kindred spirits bright.
Only at Duluth Trading.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Feels like a change is coming.
In Toledo, where Bowling Green scores on their second drive, lead at 7-zip on the Odu-Hilaire touchdown on chilly night off of the river. Rain falling, rain/snow, wintry mix.
It's not pretty out there, but I'll tell you what, really like how Bowling Green has come out early in this football game and established that they've come here to play.
And what a catch through those conditions. You were talking about that right through the break, Hilaire.
Yeah, absolutely. That ball was hanging up in the sky and snow coming down. He finds that thing and hauls it in.
Through double coverage where the grip might be an issue for a quarterback. 25-yard hit gets Bowling Green on the board. And they lead a game where Toledo is favored. And a fair catch will bring this out for Tucker Gleason. Hey, coming up this weekend, our Sunday NFL Countdown crew gets you ready for Week 11. That starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific. Then Monday Night Countdown before 49ers Cardinals in Mexico City, both on the ESPN app. A lot of Bengals fans, a lot of Browns fans in this area. Bengals are a game out of first. Maybe some talk about that rematch with Pittsburgh in Week 1.
Oh, man, that was the start of the season off bad for the Bengals, and now, I mean, just as the Bengals are coming out of the bye, the Steelers are found their run game. They ran for, I think, over close to 200 yards against the Saints last week. T.J. Watt's back, so here we go. Come on.
There's a Browns fan here at the game tonight, wearing a ski cap. Just wear those the rest of the week until they play in Buffalo on Sunday. Well, run starts the third drive for Toledo, and that's going nowhere. Jaquez Stewart has had no running room to begin this game. DJ Taylor has gotten him 3 times already.
This Toledo offense is flat. I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean, Bowling Green is just kind of having its way. They're flying around, shooting gaps and attacking. And now this Toledo offense has no answer.
Well, Taylor's in the backfield every play, it seems like.
DJ Taylor's having a fantastic game so far.
A couple of negative plays because of him. Toledo has no positive yardage yet. Now they do. And they get it out to the edge for Newton. And he's tackled just shy of the 30-yard line. Third down.
I think that's what Toledo wants to do. If they can protect and keep this front at bay, I think there's some opportunities on the outside and the back end. That's not the strength of Bowling Green's defense, their secondary. So give Tucker Gleason some time and let him find some wide receivers and move this ball down the field.
As DJ Taylor has shown, the strength is in the front 7. Quick hit out for Stewart, and he loses his feet across the 30-yard line. Chris Bacon, the leading tackler, stopped him 4 yards at the line of game.
Chris Bacon, good player, Georgia State transfer. And again, here we go, another 3 and out.
I can't tell you how many minutes I spent this week trying to figure out what Chris Bacon's middle name is. I was hoping it was Patrick. It'd be Crispy Bacon.
Oh my God.
Not to be. The digging came up empty. But a good play for Bacon to get the ball back for Bowling Green, and that's 3 consecutive 3 and outs for that BG defense.
Yeah, they're really, really active up front. And Scott Loeffler, he alluded to it this week when we talked to him. He said, look, we got a a ton to play for tonight. We win, we still keep ourselves in the mix here. Our defense has got to play well, got to start off well. And right now, this offense, they can put together a scoring drive like they did last time. This will be a really, really good start for them.
Remember, it was 2 quarterbacks last drive. McDonald came back in and threw the touchdown to Hilaire. And it's McDonald that starts this drive at quarterback. He's looking deep down the field and throws deep down the field. He's got Hilaire again! They connected for the touchdown, and now the deep ball inside the 20.
Matt McDonald and Bowling Green are not scared of this Toledo secondary. I mean, this is Chris McDonald. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the MAC, and Hilaire just runs right past him. McDonald gets paralyzed a bit, and the throw is on the money. I love how Bowling Green is coming out. They're not being cautious. They are attacking downfield.
They hit for 25 for the touchdown. They double it on that play and get 50. Set up their first red zone trip of the night. Jason Patterson bangs it in there at second down.
It's one of those deals where I think with how good this Toledo front is, if they can pass the ball well, I think that might open some things up for the run game, especially down this area of the field.
This has been a bit of a tough go for Bowling Green when they've gotten in the red zone this season run.
It has. I think part of that is their run game is 116th in the nation. This is the area of the field, Connor, where you got to be able to run the ball when the defense knows you're running the ball. Still got to be able to do it. Watch this.
Well, direct snap to their tight end playing tailback. It's Fannin off a couple of tackles. He's got a first down inside the 5. One of the best freshmen that has played at Bowling Green in a long time, taking a couple Toledo guys for a ride.
How about that? A freshman tight end. Is this a wildcat? I don't know what you call it when a tight end comes in at quarterback. But either way, all these changes and different players lining up here and there in formations, it really has this Toledo defense being reactive right now. Scott Leffler and company taking it to him.
Wild Fannin, that's what you call it. Fannin taking the snap. So more movement with personnel. It's Orth back in the game at quarterback. The backup to McDonald. Played on that last drive. He fakes the screen, and Johnson the first to get him, and he is slammed down.
Desjuan Johnson. If he doesn't come knifing through and make that play, I think Orth gets some yard. Look at this, just fights off a block. You can see why he's one of the best players out there.
Andre Fuller came in to clean him off. And it was Johnson that made the initial play that allowed Fuller to come up and get him. Another guy from Florida coming up on a cold night. Here's Fannin again, who just had that first down run. And he gets Bowling Green to third down and 3 yards and goal to go.
Talked about Scott Leffler liking the tight ends. He never saw a tight end he didn't like, kind of like John Gruden, who loves every quarterback. I think Leffler likes all his tight ends, especially number 44, Harold Fannin. Fantastic athlete, and I like this package they have set up for him here. But now look at this, a bunch formation, lots of tight ends in the game. Creating a lot of gaps up front there.
And McDonald back in at quarterback. He fakes the give, throws to the edge, and he's got his second touchdown. Andrew Bench for 6.
Love it. Bringing a different personnel group. You get everybody packed inside that phone booth, Connor, and then boom, then you blast out. Get a couple of natural picks there. Toledo thinks they might be trying to just power run that thing in because they've done that the last couple of times with Fannin at running back. And then you get the play action pass to the tight end. Fantastic.
That was a tight end to drive.
I'm telling you, he loves the tight ends.
You start calling Bowling Green tight end U.
Tight end U, that's right.
Andrew Bench with his second of the year. He caught a touchdown against Akron earlier. That was in the beginning of MAC play. Now deep into the season, Bench on the board again.
And he's just giving them, so you got 2 different quarterbacks. You got a tight end lining up at Wildcat. And the defense's heads are spinning out there. Then you get everybody packed down in tight, and then they explode out. And Bench just finds no one sees him. McDonald put it on the money. Great.
Toledo, the big favorite coming in, winning the MAC West. Bowling Green still alive in the East. But Bowling Green having no problems moving the ball through the air on a night where it's hard to get a grip.
Yeah, and on a defense that, we talked about how good Toledo's front is. Their back end is really, really good. They play some great pass defense, but again, I like the fact that Scott Leffler in this offense is not coming out scared. They're not being cautious. They know if they want to come in and beat this team, and as I said, probably the most talented team in the MAC, they got to go at it. They got to attack. They can't sit back and react.
It was a toughness row of the bleachers that we just saw. Shirts have come off the Bowling Green section.
Yeah.
Touchdown poker, I think that's what was going on. So Stewart gets another chance to return it. He's got a seam this time, switching hands, and he's taken down by the kicker outside the 45-yard line. But there are 2 flags down right where that broke. And that's the other side of the attire tonight. Jacket, sweatshirt, probably long johns underneath.
Yeah, there was a time, Connor, when I'd be the guy with the short sleeves out there trying to act tough. Not anymore. Wow. And Toledo just can't get any momentum going. I was just getting ready to say, one of the easiest ways to get some momentum back on your side is a big play on special teams, right? So you get the good return, and Penalty's going to wipe most of it out.
And just 7 yards for Toledo as they go into their 4th touch of the ball. This means so much, just beyond the standings, but you got some iconic rivalries on this list, including one in the MAC in this state, in Akron and Kent State. But anybody that grows up in the state is aware of the battle for I-75. Sometimes it makes you make interesting choices dress-wise, but it means a ton.
It's a rivalry game, Connor. No holds barred.
There's Gleason and his first big play through the passing game. He's got a first down to Blankenship. And he was a guy that was targeted a couple of times last week, but still working back from injury. He gets 20.
Good job by Tucker Gleason. They need a big play to get some momentum going, and I like this too. Get back up on the line and get some tempo, snap this ball again.
And he hands it off to Kelly, who climbs his way up toward the 40-yard line. So maybe that's the play out to Blankenship that gets Tucker Gleason in this offense going.
It's just up to somebody on Toledo right now to make a big play. Create some spark, create some energy. It's a cold night, we're into November here.
And got it going through the air, still trying to get it going on the ground because of DJ Taylor cleaning everything up in the backfield from linebacker. Negative rush yard so far. Gleason gets hit as he throws, and that ball's knocked down. Oh, and it was almost Taylor that intercepted it. So Taylor had a couple of TFLs, almost came up with a pick, but the pressure was what caused it.
Yeah, pressure right up the gut there. It was Demetrius Hardeman. They're not going to sit back and allow Tucker Gleason to be comfortable. We talked about how their offense is attacking. This defensive front is attacking as well.
Hardeman, a third of his tackles this year are sacks. Almost half of them have come in the backfield. Almost came up with the 7th sack to set up 3rd and 5.
The pressure.
And Gleason gets it away and just throws it away. They are coming right now up the gut for Bowling Green.
Tucker Gleason looks all out of sorts. I like what he did on that first play, was calm. Threw a nice pass, but after that, he just looks. Look at Carl Brooks down there, swatting, swimming, getting to the quarterback. They bring the linebacker up the middle there. And that's one thing you do against a quarterback that doesn't have a lot of experience, isn't getting a ton of the reps in practice. Bring some pressure on him. Don't let him sit back there and pick you apart.
So Bowling Green getting it back, already up by 2 scores. We've talked about what this game means for Bowling Green and how they need to stay alive in the MAC East race to get to Detroit for the title game. But Toledo sure doesn't want to go in on a loss or 2 into Detroit. They want to go in feeling good.
They don't, but human nature is what it is, right? In their minds, they get all that, but there's a part of you that says, well, if we win or lose tonight, we're still in the same boat, so that can maybe cause you to let your foot off the gas. But I know Jason Candle and company say, look, we want to keep this momentum going. We need to build and get better heading into that championship game, and I think it's up to this team. If they're a real champion, they can find a way to do that tonight.
And more success through the air for McDonald, complete to C.J. Lewis. McDonald on target one more time. He's been sharp to start this game.
And again, lots of rhythm. Matt McDonald is not sitting back there holding on to the football. Remember, early in his career, you saw him do that a lot, right? Sitting back there holding it, waiting on this. He just knows the progressions, right? Boom, 1, 2, 3, can get through it, and that ball is out of his hand.
It's going to be very interesting, Rock, if Bowling Green gets him back for another year. We'll have to fight the NCAA on it, but you get to see more of this. Out to Lewis again. Back-to-back completions to C.J. Lewis. And when he's protected, when he's got the guys up front, Matt McDonald, he can do a lot of that, spread it around to a lot of different receivers.
He can spread it around, but also with them being able to complete some of those deep passes, it has that secondary for Toledo waiting back, and that's creating some opportunities underneath like we saw in that last play.
We've seen all the tight ends, an extension of that offensive line, and McDonald has completed it to 4 different guys tonight. And has it complete on this drive to just 2 guys. And make that 5 on the night. Complete to Teron Keith as running back.
Yeah, Scott Leffler and company are going to empty that playbook out here a little bit. That thing is pretty fit. He's been around a long time, around a lot of great quarterbacks. I'm sure there's no limit to how many plays he's drawn up, and we may see a lot of them tonight.
Look at how big that sheet is.
That's a pretty big one. Here's Mike Leach's. It's like the size of like a tiny note card. It's just like air raid. Just it's up to the receivers to figure it out. We'll throw you the ball.
Yeah, on the spectrum of Mike Leach, Jimbo Fisher. That's more Jimbo Fisher than it is Mike Leach. So you hit the end of the first 15 minutes, and it's Bowling Green trying to keep their season alive with that big menu of plays through the air 2 times for Matt McDonald. First it was Hilaire through the snow, and then on a drive that saw all tight ends, Andrew Bench closed out as we beat by 2 scores.
Let's say you're someone like Corey, medically minded, runs the 100 in 11 seconds flat. Right from the start, you rule out the state uni because you want to get ahead, not left in the dust. Then you get an offer to run for a tiny private college. But do they have the clinical experiences, research opportunities, and professional mentors to help you win the real-world race? And then you check out Toledo. You meet a professor, and he tells you all about the options you'll have right here at the University of Toledo.
'Twas a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Across the country, businesses have had to adjust how they operate and make difficult decisions to protect their employees, customers, and communities. While we don't yet fully know where this road will lead, we do know you don't have to walk it alone. When you're ready, Cox Media's team of experts will be here to offer thoughtful perspective on messaging and media planning as your customers are evolving how they watch, read, and connect. We're here to help you navigate this together. Cox Media. Better together. Across the country, businesses have had to adjust how they operate and make difficult decisions to protect their employees, customers, and communities. While we don't yet fully know where this road will lead, we do know you don't have to walk it alone. When you're ready, Cox Media's team of experts will be here to offer thoughtful perspective on messaging and media planning as your customers are evolving how they watch, read, and connect. We're here to help you navigate this together. Cox Media. Better together.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars.
Across the country, businesses have had to adjust how they operate and make difficult decisions to protect their employees, customers, and communities. While we don't yet fully know where this road will lead, we do know you don't have to walk it alone. When you're ready, Cox Media's team of experts will be here to offer thoughtful perspective on messaging and media planning as your customers are evolving how they watch, read, and connect. We're here to help you navigate this together. Cox Media. Better together.
Look, it's not about how happy you look to be here tonight. It is about being here tonight. This is the ideal. This is the ideal date. You go to the Battle of I-75.
Don't get better tonight. Yeah, these guys are loving it. Ohio guys.
Bowling with a touchdown lead through the first quarter as Patterson sets up 3rd down and short for Bowling Green. But the student crowd for Toledo, the crowd overall, especially for this late in the year, and the weather that we got late today, really, really good.
I mean, this is fantastic. This is a great crowd tonight.
Who's already thrown for 2 touchdown passes tonight. Into the air on 3rd down and 3 here, maybe. Nope, he's not going to get it off. And right up the middle, Johnson was surging up the line of scrimmage again.
Which is a 2-person route. They kept match protected. But you can see Desjuan Johnson just fighting up there, spinning out of there, getting in on things. I mean, it's just, corner guys, two guys. It creates a lot of havoc down there.
We had the conversation, how motivated would Toledo be? They've already clinched. Don't tell Desjuan Johnson that.
No, he's out there playing hard. It's his offense. I mean, the defense is doing okay. I think Bowling Green has a great game plan so far. It's up to this offense to inject some energy back in this team.
And this play blown dead before the punt. This was 4th and 4. Play clock at 0. And it will be the delay of game. Interesting, right? You're near midfield. Bowling Green last week, they went for it on 4th down 6 times. With a 2-score lead, they decided to punt here.
Well, that's because they went over 6 last week. That may have something to do with it.
Could have stopped there.
Yeah, 4th down didn't work out so well for them. But look, I still think they'll be aggressive. I mean, 4th and 5, well now 4th and 9 from this part of the field. Analytics, I get all that deal, but
Sammy Sir has one that skips up at the 30. And Toledo's offense will come back out for the first time in the second quarter, trying to get it going. Down by 2 scores from the Glass City in Toledo, Ohio.
It was a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars.
Eat, play, eat, play, eat, play. Combo! Dave & Buster's Eat and Play Combo is back. Get an entree and a game card starting at $19.99. Now through November 27th, only at Dave & Buster's.
Battle for I-75 in Toledo. Bowling Green through the first quarter plus, leading by 2 scores. Con Runyon with Rocky Boyman at the last. Coming up on Monday night, the NFL back in Mexico City for the first time since 2019. Week 11, Monday Night Football, 49ers and Cardinals, 8 Eastern with kick on ESPN. Coverage starts with Monday Night Countdown at 6 Eastern on ESPN and the app. Got a look at Kareem, Toledo Rocket, great running back, in the house tonight, along with several thousands, everybody in the county coming out for the Battle of I-75. Toledo ball, Tucker Gleason is sacked one more time. And it's Brooks that got to him, moving up to 3rd in Bowling Green history with that sack.
Tell you what, I mean, it's Johnson on the Toledo side, Carl Brooks on this side, and just a sweet inside move. Just fakes to the outside, comes in, slaps the hands away. I mean, that is textbook stuff. How to rush the passer. Get those offensive linemen's hands off you. Relentless to the ball.
So, number 26 in his career, up to 3rd all time. And Gleason's off target. And it'll be 3rd down and 14.
Look at this offensive line right now for Toledo, not playing well. Bowling career sack leaders. Carl Brooks having himself a night.
This season alone, he's top 10 in the country in sacks. That's his 9th already. So a lot of that work, a lot of that breakout he's had has come this season.
It has. And look, everybody in the MAC knows who Carl Brooks is, and he's still productive this year despite getting a lot of double teams.
Well, they get to him again. Gleason sacked for the 2nd time on the drive. And it's Carl Brooks with help from Walter Hare.
This is where he missed DeQuan Finn, right? Because he can just kind of take off and run. But you get the nice pass rush move on the side by Bryce Brand, and then just a whole host of Falcons come in there. Like you said, Hare, Carl Brooks. This Bowling Green defensive front came to play. Look at this.
And special teams play. Ball's free inside the 5. And Bowling Green's on top of it for the touchdown. All Falcons at the Glass Bowl. Their 3rd block punt of the year.
And Toledo is absolutely shell-shocked right now. Offense is playing really poor, and then, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to Scott Leffler and company keeping the foot on the gas. You're up 14-0. There's no time to get conservative. Stay on the attack, and you draw up a block on special teams and get it.
It was Patrick Day that eventually gets into the end zone, but the pressure just keeps coming, even on special teams from Carl Brooks.
Scott Leffler, love how aggressive he's being tonight. Defense playing well. The offense is to play. Toledo better figure out a way to respond before the thing gets away from him.
'Twas a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. his final prediction, Nostradamus said, "A combo divine will return one more time." He was talking about
Dave and Buster's Eat and Play Combo, starting at just $19.99.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars.
Brooks show so far for Bowling Green. Blocked punt after a drive that had 2 sacks from the guy they call the heart of the Falcons up front on defense.
What's the oldest cliche in football? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, right? Season on the line, fighting for their lives. It's still a chance to clinch the East, and your best defensive player is showing out. Carl Brooks, TFLs, 2.5 of those, 1.5 sacks, block punt. Is in on that.
I'd raise you one cliche with it's a game of inches.
It's also a game of momentum and want to. And right now, Toledo doesn't seem to have that. I talked about it. I mean, it's human nature to say, hey, it's cold. Why are we out here? We can't really go up or down in the MAC standings, whether we win or lose tonight. And I think that creeps into your head. And it's up to someone on this Toledo team to zap him out of it, or this thing is going to get away from him big time.
It looked like it was going to come on the return last time, but got called back on a holding. And they got out to the 45-yard line. This time a fair catch, but Brooks on that last drive did everything for Bowling Green.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. I mean, he's getting off of blocks, good pass rush moves, swimming, getting to the inside. I mean, just causing havoc up there. And right now, Tucker Gleason is not comfortable in that pocket right now because of big number 11.
He's a guy that stats-wise, Rocky, we were just talking about it, he broke out this year where the numbers really ballooned, but it was earlier than that the staff felt broke out. Last year against Tennessee, Tucker Gleason has 8 yards on first down, but he went up against an SEC offensive line, Carl Brooks last year, and he belonged. That was the moment where Bowling Green knew he was going to be the force in the middle.
Still remember when Khalil Mack played for Buffalo in college, and they had a great game against Ohio State, and the world said, okay, I need to start paying attention to this guy.
Oh, Brooks is on the sideline, and now Toledo's moving the ball. It's Stewart for a first down.
There we go. If you're Toledo, get back up on the line, snap the ball again. Force that momentum. Great job by Stewart here. Get Mitchell Berg, wrap around inside. Nice run.
Gleason, trouble with the snap. And then he gets out of the sack with a flag out and complete to the edge. Now to Newton. And a flag back near the quarterback where Gleason got out of the sack after the ball was snapped at his feet. Rick Zujak, a referee. Sort this one out, longtime MAC official.
I don't know if it was a face mask. Hit the quarterback in the head.
First of all, before we get this, well, we're going to get it now. Maybe. Good call, Rock.
Yeah. And it was also almost another sack. Good job by Tucker Gleason staying alive because that ball's on the turf. Yeah, it is right there real quick, and that's all it takes. Jerk that thing around. Jordan Porter. Got the left side of that face mask and turn it around.
So 3 consecutive positive plays with Brooks on the sideline. So apparently he's that good.
However he can get it right, take a penalty here and get an extra 15 yards.
Brooks, the defensive end, he had 2 sacks on the last drive. He has a tackle for a loss. And now he's back on the field behind your screen at defensive end. But these big chunk plays have come without him on the field. And with him back in there, the big plays stop for Toledo. Stewart doesn't have much there. He's a second-time captain, Carl Brooks. Walter Hare, who plays on the other side of the defensive line for Brooks, said that even the other captains look up to Carl Brooks. That's how much he's admired on this Bowling Green team.
He's the alpha, right? When he starts talking, everyone shuts up and listens to what Carl Brooks has to say.
Which is funny because Walter Hare talks more than Carl
Brooks.
Yes,
but Walter Hare loves when Carl Brooks is in the game because Carl Brooks gets a lot of double teams and Walter Hare has been very productive.
Oh, and it opens things up for the other guys, too. Anthony Hawkins straight up the chute.
Anthony Hawkins, another big player, 6'2", 290 from Mansfield, Ohio. I'm telling you, this front, active. You can always tell when the defensive line's having a good game. You see offensive linemen turned, looking back toward the quarterback. That means they're not blocking well. And now a lot of guys up in that line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to bring some pressure on Tucker Gleason.
It's that look on the offensive line of where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
Where'd my guy go? So right outside the red zone. This was the first red zone trip for Toledo. And Gleason fights his way back inside the 20. But it's going to be 3rd down and 9. There's just nothing doing up that middle right now. And Chris Bacon make the stick.
Yeah, and I have to imagine this was just, hey, let's try to get a fairly comfortable field. Look at this. Jason, none too pleased. Tecumseh, the wide receiver. There's some banging going on inside there. This is not fun. Running into that front.
36-yard field goal try for Clucky. And through the elements, that is wide left. So Jason Campbell already yelling mad as his offense comes off the field. And that face will remain red. The special teams leaving points on the field.
'Twas a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Eat, play, eat, play, eat, play, combo! Dave & Buster's Eat and Play Combo is back! Get an entree and a game card starting at $19.99. Now through November 27th only at Dave & Buster's.
We know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars.
Man, I make this cheesiest chain look good.
I'm still feeling the cheesiest.
You are a wheel of cheese. Cheez-It, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff.
Feels like a change is coming.
Bowling Green giving their fans, their students, reason to stick around. A missed field goal for Clucky for Toledo going into that timeout keeps Toledo scoreless. Big favorite in this game, and they trail by 21.
And you can tell Jason Cannell was just trying to get something positive here. Let's line up for a 36-yard field goal, get 3 on the board, and move on, but it doesn't happen.
So a blocked punt and 2 throwing touchdowns. And Hilaire had one of those touchdown catches, but just roped down shy of the 20-yard line. Good play by Max and Hook. So this is a play in 3 acts. Sad, and then happy. Other way around.
Yeah, you can tell by the looks here how that went. Jason Cannell saying nothing is going right for us right now. But on the other side, Scott Leffler saying this is working out exactly how he planned. But let me say this. I think right now, for Matt McDonald in this offense, you want to stay aggressive because that's what's working, but you also can ill afford a turnover at this point. They've had some turnover issues here and there. Don't want to force one and get both the ball and the momentum back to Toledo.
And it's all gone right these first 2 quarters, and there's the turnover. It's Johnson on the zone blitz. That defensive tackle. Whoa. Toledo's got it going now with their best player on defense.
That was perfectly timed. I mean, because again, that's what you just absolutely can't have. He just does not see the linebacker come on in, and it's just, and again, all the momentum now goes back to Toledo. They're in great field position. They finally get something positive happen for them.
And that's a guy, Desjuan Johnson, that usually is in the face of the quarterback, not back in coverage, making picks.
I know. I mean, I had to double check. I'm like, Desjuan Johnson, he popped out of there on that blitz, got into the zone. Now it's up to Tucker Gleason.
So Gleason to the air and incomplete. Kelly out in the flat. Desjuan Johnson came to Toledo about 65 pounds lighter than he is right now. 6'3", 210 is what he weighed when he got to Toledo, the guy that just had the pick. When you hear 6'3", 210, what position do you think?
You think linebacker, you think anything but defensive line, right? He can play D-line, linebacker, all of it.
So maybe some of those hands from back then coming up big as Kelly gets clipped inside the 10. It's 3rd down. Johnson picked it off, almost brought it back, and then Jamal Hines is getting into the skirmish there.
See, that's dangerous water you're treading in right there. You start touching the official. That's Gilbert get him under control here.
And that was the biggest play of the night positively for Toledo. 0 for 6 on 3rd down. Still get a 1st down, and they got it complete to Kelly. Dances his way inside the 5, and he does get that 1st down. Darren Anders stopped the touchdown, but not the 1st down.
And you can tell Tucker Gleason, they got to get that ball out of his hand, right? Good job, good quick pass to the flat.
It's going to be hard to replicate what McDonald did on that big 50-yard throw.
Down this area of the field, Jamal Turner, the tight end, he's been the go-to guy in the red zone. You see him in the wing right there.
He's bottom of the screen on the left with Penny Boone in at running back, and he gets snowed under. Boone's a guy they like down here, too. He is 35 pounds heavier than any other running back they use.
He is a big man. So you're thinking either inside runs, the boot. Also, again, watch Jamal Turner. He goes back to that wing spot, coming back across, coming underneath, getting out into the flat.
It was down in this area that Boone and Turner clinched the division last week. Went down and scored with a minute left against Ball State to clinch the West. And Gleason looking at that wide side, and there's Turner, but incomplete. That's the guy you wanted. That's the guy Gleason wanted.
He's the guy. He's got 20 catches on the season and 7 touchdowns. He's the one you got to watch. He's a nice target. 6'6", 245. And he had him, too. Just this ball got away from Gleason. He just needed to be a little bit more horizontal than vertical. Missed opportunity.
You give him a chance down there. He's 6 inches taller than the guy covering him.
Yeah, just give him a shot. Give him a chance. He can jump. He can get that thing out of there. 6'6".
Gleason looking that side again. Pocket closes. Gleason to the end zone. He's in. Interception and touchdown for the Rockets. And that fighting going on again. You expect this in the rivalry game a little bit, and the flags are out. And Toledo's trying to get everybody back to the sideline after they finally score. But after the pick and the touchdown, we saw that.
A great response by Tucker Gleason. He's not played well until that drive, but a good job tucking that thing and getting it in for a tough run for the touchdown. Look, right here, he sees that thing open up to the left. Good athleticism, pounding it in. And then you see some extracurricular things happening. There's Penny Boone.
Demetrius Hardman's in there turning his back. I'm not doing any of this.
That's usually how it works. I've been there. You throw a punch and then you throw your hand. I didn't do anything. Well, yeah, you did.
We know you're guilty if somebody gets punched in the booth tonight.
That's right.
You're walking out.
Too many TV cameras out there anymore. Get away with that.
So Bowling Green, who had everything going right, they give up the ball, they give up a touchdown, and now they give up penalty yardage.
And both penalties go against them. And this is where Scott Leffler's up to him to rally his team and say, look, we cannot let our emotions get the best of us here. We're playing good football. Let's keep doing that. You can't let one bad play wreck your emotions and just let that ruin the rest of the night. This would be a big opportunity right here for Bowling Green to fix this.
And Clucky is perfect on the PAT. They got it fixed part of the way.
Absolutely. Now Toledo has finally got something positive happening. They get the interception by Jeswan Johnson. Scampers down inside the 15-yard line, and then Tucker Gleason says, hey, I'll take this thing myself. I want to get my team back in this football game, and they are.
'Twas a night at the Home Depot, at every location. A night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
At Honda, we know you have to drive through the mud if you want to reach the rainbow. Brave the desert before you find the oasis. Conquer the mountain to see how far your dreams can take you. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Touching the stars.
Now that's the shakaroni.
Dang, that's huge. Oh, that's my piece of the shakaroni. That's the biggest one we make. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese on that thing. Somebody save me a slice? No.
They'll donate $1 from every shakaroni to the Papa John's Foundation.
Shakaroni. Oh, bring it in. Shakaroni. Shakaroni. Get on beat. Shakaroni. Shakaroni. Shake that wig on, come on. Shakaroni. You guys were so offbeat. Okay, all right, let's eat.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey! You're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
Statement Saturday, big day of college football on ABC and ESPN. Illinois into the big house. Michigan, one of 4 undefeateds. Ohio State, another one of those 4 undefeateds. They get Maryland on ABC at 3:30 Eastern. Miami at Clemson. Clemson still an outside shot. They'll try to win the ACC and get some help ahead of them in the college football playoff. And then Tennessee and South Carolina close it out at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Correction on the number
Tennessee,
for the unsportsmanlike conduct. It was number 10 on the defense.
went ahead.
Charge timeout. Bowling Green there first.
Lost to Georgia.
Yep.
And then everybody's like, maybe their offense isn't that legit. Well, Hendon Hooker and Tennessee, they scored 66 points last Saturday. They're fine.
Yeah, they're the number 1 scoring offense in the country still. And there's a little bit of style point to that. And I know some people were a bit miffed by they put 66 on them and kept going. But look, it's what it comes down to. Let's face it. This is what the committee reacts to. They look at stats and they like to see some of those numbers. So that's what Tennessee is going to do. But, you know, they're certainly in the mix for this thing.
Did you see Hendon Hooker directing the band after, too?
Yeah.
He's up on the stand directing the band.
By the way, I think Tennessee, because of their strength of schedule, could find, you know, there's a scenario where they could get in over either Michigan or Ohio State. Whoever loses that game, I think Tennessee could be in there. Now look at this.
All right, I think we're going to have an onside kick. This is because of the 2 personal foul penalties
I love this.
in the end zone after the touchdown for Bowling Green. So Toledo will line up for the onside kick in plus territory. And Clucky bounces one that's free. And Bowling Green got back on top of it.
Wow. I mean, the game turns big time. And I mean, it's the obvious but great decision here to go with the onside kick.
C.J. Lewis, starting wide receiver, got back on top of it on the hands team.
Yeah, that was very fortunate. And right now, it's up to Matt McDonald, who's played a lot of football, right? He's a senior. And he's got to find a way to calm this thing down and get this offense back to moving things.
3 straight positive plays for Toledo. And a short gain on first down for Patterson. Yeah, an interception for Desjuan Johnson, a touchdown, and then Bowling Green with 2 personal foul penalties.
You got to stop the bleeding, and you know things are getting real chippy. We saw the penalties. After the play, there's a little shove that could easily been a penalty. You know, both these coaches got to get in their team's ear and say, "Look, we cannot have the extra after the play stuff."
And Orth is back into the game at quarterback. He's the backup. They've used him to run tonight. He's got nowhere to run on that play. Quinyon Mitchell in on the play. Deontay Johnson also in at linebacker. Also some help from Nate Giveham.
Such a fine line between being careful with the ball and being too cautious. You know, this is a very, very conservative drive. How this thing started out from being great.
After an aggressive
Very
last
aggressive.
week.
Yeah.
They've split their 3rd down tries. Big play looming with halftime coming in 5 minutes. After Toledo just scored for the first time. McDonald back in there. Pocket closes, but he gets out a good ball that's dropped. The reliable Christian Sims can't come up with a first down.
Bad drop right there, because now all of a sudden you get the first down, you move the chains, and you can take a deep breath and say, okay, we're fine. But it doesn't happen. It's just these little things in football. It's not seeing a dropping defensive lineman and throwing an interception right in his lap. It's a drop on 3rd down. These things compile.
And Sims is the second favorite target of McDonald. He's a guy that has had very, very good games, especially lately. Had 6 catches last week. But the drop gets it back to Toledo after the 45-yard punt.
Christian Sims, all MAC tight end. You don't drop too many.
So Gleason's coming back out, Rocky. The guy that started his career at Georgia Tech, transferred here to Toledo, and has been backing up DeQuan Finn until the last couple of weeks.
And I think that touchdown run did a lot for his confidence, right? He kind of got his lather going up a little bit, got knocked around, was able to punch it in for the touchdown, and let's see if he can take some of that momentum and bring it into this drive.
And hard to get a lather on a night like tonight.
That's right.
30 degrees, wintry mix, snowing most of this game. Gleason got him going for the first time after Toledo fell down 21-zip. After Gleason's touchdown, he hands off. Nothing there for Kelly. Oh, Hawkins with Darren Anders up the chute.
Devin Rogers, the center, just got run over. I mean, watch this. The quickness by this defensive line. And Anthony Hawkins is a 290-pound man. He just boom, shot the gap, and then Darren Anders came and finished him off. That's a great play by Anders.
Yeah, guys that big, not typically that fast,
No.
huh? Now Gleason over the top for Turner, and it's dropped on the pick by Chris Bacon. Almost came up with the turnover.
Really good effort by Bacon. Laid out and tried to haul that thing in. It was a little overthrown by Gleason. I'd like to have that one back a little bit, but good job too by Anders. I mean, that's the mismatch they wanted, right? Get your tight end Jamal Turner with his height on a linebacker. That's what the offense is designed to do. It just couldn't connect.
Bacon had a pick a couple of weeks ago against Western Michigan. Nearly a second in short time. The incompletion has Toledo back behind the sticks on third down. Gleason steps up and run. He's got some space. He's got a first down. And he's across midfield. So Gleason with his legs these last 2 drives has the chains moving.
And they rushed just for Connor. And what that did, it just allowed for a little rush lane to open up. See, there it is, right in front of him. Defensive line just got a little bit too far upfield. It opened that thing up, and a great job of the run by Gleason.
Gleason with a clean pocket off target. And after his run of 21, they get new life on this drive, though.
Look, I mean, Tucker Gleason obviously is not DeQuan Finn. He's not that electric of a runner, but we've seen him when he's had to tonight make a couple nice runs. One was for the touchdown, and that was for picking up a big third down.
Okay, so DeQuan Finn, in our coaches' meetings this week, we were told he's the Lamar Jackson of the MAC.
Yeah.
Can you think on your feet here? Who's Tucker Gleason?
Give me a few more series. I don't know yet.
All right, we'll check back at halftime, maybe. Gleason out of another tackle. He's got a first down. Tucker Gleason making a case for being the Lamar of the MAC.
He took offense to me saying he's not as good a runner as DeQuan Finn, but he looks great. And this is the difference right now. And what you're seeing is this Bowling Green defensive front has been attacking all day, right? Well, sometimes you use that attacking nature against them, right? Let them get upfield and then find a little crease and hit it.
Gleason off the play fake, throws a dart, has it complete inside the 5-yard line. He had it over the middle to Thomas Zyros, and it's first and goal.
Gleason's in the groove right now, Connor. Looks really good. Making great decisions, when to run with it, and then a nice clutch pass.
Brett Favre of the MAC?
Maybe,
number 4.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't mean to steal your thunder if that's where you're going to get by halftime. Toledo looking for 14 unanswered. Kelly inside run, and he's torn down. Deshaun Jones sweeps in from cornerback and makes that play.
This Bowling Green front is just bringing it. As Blaine Spires off the edge, unblocked, and just hones that thing down, gets to him.
Spires from Youngstown, Ohio, setting the edge there. A lot of in-state guys in this rivalry. We talked about the distance between the two schools, but guys that have known it for a long time making big plays tonight.
Watch Turner down here.
Penny Boone sticks it in there. Nowhere to go for Boone. And it's Hardiman at the bottom of the pile. So opposite outside linebackers making back-to-back plays for Bowling Green.
This defensive front, we've talked about him all night, played really well. Right now, I mean, last time this area of the field, it was Tucker Gleason kept it. And you like to think that's an option here. They're going to spread some of these wide receivers out, and maybe Tucker Gleason, if he can't find an open receiver, finds a little crease and runs it in.
Gleason's got pressure to the pylon. Incomplete. Incomplete. It was Blankenship trying to tiptoe along that back line, but didn't get it down.
I'm not sure if he was forced out or if he just kind of lost track of where he was, but he was. He was close, actually. His right foot is definitely in the white, but as soon as he comes down, yeah.
He kind of snow coned it, too.
Yeah.
Gleason thought touchdown. Brooks is making the call for the official. And Toledo takes the timeout before 4th and goal just before the half.
30 seconds in left.
Remember, it was Blankenship that Jason Candle was yelling at on the sideline.
Yeah, they were into it big time.
Before that missed field goal. So Blankenship almost had a big redemption play there. All right, so 4th and goal, you're at the 5-yard line. 1, do you go for it? 2, what's your call if you do?
I think right now is an opportunity to go for it. I feel like the momentum is swung back in your favor in a chance to really stun this Bowling Green team here. This is the 10th play of the drive coming up. But I think what you do is you give a run-pass option to Tucker Gleason. And if you don't find anything open, allow him the opportunity to sneak that thing in.
Seems like he settled in pretty nice.
He really has. I mean, he came out. He looked a little shell-shocked, right? Like out of the first 3 drives of the game. But I think his game's gone on. He's been banged around a little bit. And sometimes that just kind of gets you into the flow. He's performed well so far.
We learned about an hour before the game that Daquan Finn, the normal starting quarterback for Toledo, who's their leading rusher and leading passer, would not be a go tonight, is not dressed. So Gleason leading the Toledo offense. They are out on 4th down. They pitch it to Kelly, climbing the back of his own guy for a touchdown.
Great play call here by Mike Howard and Robin Weiner, the offensive coordinators. Shovel pass, and with the way Tucker Gleason has been able to run, you can see that defense starts to spread out. Nice block by Kendall Major, the right guard. Touchdown.
Playing tonight.
Yes, sir.
No blowout the other way, it appears. 21 for Bowling Green, the next 14 for Toledo.
And this is where, if you're Toledo, you can start to prove you're one of the best teams in the MAC. You came out flat, you let the other team get a huge lead on you, but found a way to come back and make this game close. Just a 7-point ball game here heading into half.
The last couple of weeks have been good to Micah Kelly, by the way. He was the leading rusher against Ball State. And on a night where the running game was slow to get going, Gleason has opened some things up now for his running backs.
He really has. He's been able to connect the pass game a little bit. He's run a few himself. And Micah Kelly, these guys gotten better as this season's gone on. And now it's up to that man right there. And Matt McDonald, see if he can get that interception out of his head. And that last drive was a 3-and-out. Wasn't helped by his tight end, Chris Sims, who had to drop. We got 2 timeouts here. We'll see if he, see how they want to approach this drive. Short kick.
Clucky left it short of the goal line. So Embry has a chance to bring it out. There's a flag back down at the 30. Embry's got the kicker to beat, and he's got that sideline with the flag down at the 30-yard line. Embry thinks he has a touchdown. We'll see. Flag all the way back, 70 yards away from the end zone. And we'll sort that out. Likely coming back, though. You got a flag right at the end of the run, too. As Embry dove into the end zone, flag came out at the 2-yard line. The first one all the way back at the 30.
I don't know if they're, calling like unsportsmanlike for him jumping in the end zone like that. No, but
he had guys close to him, right?
I thought so. Well, certainly enough where to make the case he was just trying to dive in there before anyone could get him.
I'm throwing a sideline warning on the guys with the megaphones. Certainly.
There are 2 live ball fouls on the play, both by the receiving team. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 8, receiving team. That penalty was declined. That's his first. During the return, illegal blindside block, number 32, return team. The penalty is half the distance from the spot of the foul after enforcement, 1st and 10.
So Jalen Embry thought he had a 97-yard touchdown. Instead, it comes all the way back.
So we'll see. Get a look at it here. I think the bottom left of your screen, illegal blindside block. Oh, come on. That's shoulder to shoulder. And 22 saw him coming. That was not. Come on, guys. That's a shame. That's a bad call. What a shame.
And that was Patrick Day who had the big special teams play earlier. He had the touchdown and the block punt.
I can see if you're peeling back and he doesn't have a chance to an opportunity to see as a blocker. But he looked him up. He saw he was coming and was still able to get the block. I don't know what you're supposed to do right there.
And Patterson, with Toledo trying to rip the ball out, hangs on to it at 2nd down. Scott Leffler seeing the clock wind inside a minute. And now they stop it.
Charge timeout, Toledo, number 2.
Toledo that
30
takes
seconds
the timeout. So they're thinking maybe they get the ball back and get this game tied, or at least get closer before half.
Have 1 timeout. I guess right now they're feeling good, right? A lot of the momentum is shifted back to their side. Bowling Green has got to find a way to stop the bleeding here. Maybe getting into halftime here and getting settled down would be the best thing for him.
Bowling Green led it 21-zip rock, but committed 7 penalties in this first half.
That's what you can't do. We talked about it in the open. It's the self-inflicted mistakes that hurt this team. They had 3 turnovers last week. That was a huge factor in that game. And they were playing some great football, and then you get the interception, you had the penalties, and it happens that quick.
Our thoughts in Charlottesville this week. The news overnight a couple of nights ago. Covered that at the half. Also, some of the Week 11 storylines, our big slate of games on Statement Saturday. It's coming up in a minute 06.
A lot of thoughts go to that Virginia program. That's just awful.
Patterson bouncing to the outside, and down he goes. Bauer up to make the stick. And 3rd down at the clock stopping again. And this is a Toledo team.
Toledo is taking their 3rd and final timeout, 30 seconds in length. Please set the game clock to 1 minute, 1 second. Thank you.
This is a Toledo team that can blitz you, and I don't mean in the way of sending pressure, but they were down 21 points against Kent State earlier this season. Turned that around and won by 21 points.
And that's what great teams do, right? They're never out of it. They've got a lot of talent, very experienced bunch, and they find ways to win. They allow you as the other team to beat yourself to a degree, and then they take it to you. So they've been real impressed. I mean, Toledo was flat at the beginning of this game, and especially here at home. They're undefeated at home here this season.
It's only happened once since 2004. They've gone undefeated. That was their last MAC title team, 2017. That was Logan Woodside at quarterback, Terry Swanson, 1,000-yard rusher at running back. obviously a very good team, best in the MAC. Trying to get back to the top of the MAC this year. Already won the West. Down to score against Bowling Green. And more Patterson on this drive. 3 straight runs. So Bowling Green plays it safe before halftime, leading by a score.
Be able to bleed this clock down to about 20 seconds here.
We've already seen a blocked punt in this game. That was from Bowling Green. So they got their 3rd touchdown. Looks like Scott Loeffler will take a timeout once the clock does wind down to zeros. Remember, we had that shot of Jason Candle, Toledo's head coach, just spitting mad. It was right about the time we saw that shot that things turned.
It was. Maybe him getting all riled up has helped his team mentally get back in this thing.
Bowling Green is taking timeout number 2. It'll be a full timeout.
It's probably a little TV director's bias from what Anthony Giassi, our director, has shown that happened, then 2 big plays happened, but could be part of it, right?
That's right.
So it'll be 4th down and 12, deep into Bowling Green's own territory. What do you do here if you're Toledo? You send the house, try to get a block, you set up a return.
I think right here you set up a return, and you maybe have the opportunity for 2 shots to the end zone.
If you're thinking about field goal range for Clucky, his long on the year is 45. Now, that's in better conditions than tonight.
Correct. We've already seen a short punt.
Is that Space Cowboy? Is that what that is? They're the Rockets. They're wearing cowboy hats.
You may have an opportunity for 2 plays, but it might be closer to 1. You think about 5 seconds is what you need for a play. So I think they'll get this punt here and might get a chance for a decent return and then 1 shot.
So you got 10 guys up at the line of scrimmage. Now a couple bail out of there. We'll try to set up a return for Beal. He does take it. And gets out of the first tackle, but chopped down at the 40. And with 5 seconds, no timeouts, this probably has to be a shot to the end zone now.
So there it is, 1 shot to the end zone.
So Bowling Green got 9 seconds off the clock. And with the backup quarterback, Tucker Gleason, starting tonight, I think that maybe that guy in the middle of the huddle.
There it is, that's Jamal Turner, yeah.
He's who you might target.
He's the tight end, 6'6". If I'm Bowling Green, I'm finding out where number 9 is, making sure I have a body on him. Of course, as soon as there he is. Okay. Here comes Jamal Turner. He's on the end of the line of scrimmage toward the bottom of your screen here.
And there's the prevent defense. 4 DBs back for Bowling Green. Roll the pocket for Gleason. Throw fast, and it's incomplete. So fast. But there's still time on the clock. Still 2 seconds on the clock.
And had he completed that, he would have got out of bounds and would have been, maybe a 47-yard field goal. So tried to go with a quick pass, pick up a couple yards.
Told you that Clucky has made
taking their 3rd final timeout, 30 seconds in length.
Clucky, the kicker for Toledo, has made from 45 this year, but made a 50-yarder last year. So if they completed that, that's a chance to try it. Bowling Green has burned their final timeout. Really interesting half, Rock.
Very interesting. I mean, talk about momentum swings. I mean, Bowling Green comes out and is just jumps all over Toledo, who looks flat. They didn't have much energy. Everything on the side, and it's just funny. I mean, it usually is turnovers, right, that can swing momentum. Bowling Green's offense doing everything great, and then Matt McDonald throws the interception to Desjuan Johnson. Toledo gets on the board, and ever since that moment, the momentum has been on the side of the Rockets.
Scott Loeffler, if you lip read there, said something about 3 seconds, and I would have to think that's how did that play only take 3 seconds?
That's what I thought. I mean, it's hard to get one play off in 5 seconds on anything left.
This looks similar to that last play, but Gleason taking a shot this time. 3 guys down there for Toledo, and that's intercepted. So Bowling Green intercepts it, and that brings an end to the half. And they do take the lead with Trent Sims hauling in the pick. And Bowling Green, perfect when leading at the half this year, stay in front of this rivalry game.
It's a good job. Boxing out, and then you got to high point that thing and come down with it.
That was scarily close if you're Bowling Green.
Close,
to
yeah.
Newton.
Close.
So Bowling Green on a snowy night at the Glass Bowl. And everything cooking. The first 21 to the Falcons. The next 14 to Tucker Gleason and Toledo. The Rockets, champions of the West, trying to eliminate Bowling Green from the East.
Across the country, businesses have had to adjust how they operate and make difficult decisions to protect their employees, customers, and communities. While we don't yet fully know where this road will lead, we do know you don't have to walk it alone. When you're ready, Cox Media's team of experts will be here to offer thoughtful perspective on messaging and media planning as your customers are evolving how they watch, read, and connect. We're here to help you navigate this together. Cox Media.